So this is our pre-season tour preview that we probably should have done before they left to go to America, but hey, we've all got things to do. Jay, do you think ability-wise this is the worst squad we've ever sent somewhere?
I wouldn't say it's the worst squad we've ever sent somewhere. I think, there's the dark days of the December twins and Cleberson and times like that before my time when we're even worse. But it's not the best squad we've had by any stretch of the imagination. There's several weak areas in midfield, obviously. I know we've got Herrera, but there's still big question marks there. And the wingers have a lot of question marks over them as well. But I don't think it's the worst squad we've ever sent anywhere.
Okay, Adam, we've got 4 goalkeepers and 1 right back. Are there any surprises in this squad?
Well, we've got more goalkeepers than strikers as well, I noticed, which is a bit of a mad one. But I think the surprise for me would be Tyler Blackett being included and Reece James as well. I think, obviously, Evra's been confirmed he's gone today. We've brought Luke Shaw in. Is he looking to promote from our youth setup for that left-back spot, or will he bring in someone in? There's been talk about Vermaelen and stuff. So those 2 guys there have a huge opportunity. We all know they've got good potential, but no one expected them to be included in this squad, especially when the likes of Wilson and Lawrence have been left out as well. So I think they were a surprise, and they've got a huge opportunity to prove themselves to Louis.
I just hope Tyler Blackett can step up, because he's been one youth player that's disappointed me. I had even high hopes for him a few seasons ago, and I don't think he's really stepped up at all. And last few times I've been and seen him, I've not been impressed.
He was playing for a poor Blues side as well, which didn't help him last season.
Yeah, true, so.
Let's talk about these players and whether or not they are in fact playing for their futures, because you have players like Cleverley who people are saying, is this his last chance? And equally, as you say, the younger players who, for them, is this the opportunity to make it into the first team?
I don't know. I think people look too much into pre-season, I think, because, players like Obertan have had great pre-seasons before. Players like Chris Eagles was on fire one pre-season, if I recall rightly. And
Jesse Lingard last year was excellent, wasn't he? And then he was instantly
exactly. I don't think it shows you too much. A game against the likes of LA Galaxy and probably Roma and Madrid's reserve sides. I don't think you're going to get too much out of that, but it will give the manager a good chance to see like their attitude and the way how they're sort of performing and how they're training and whatnot. But I wouldn't look too much into it.
Okay, Adam, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, he'll know. I think he knows already which players need to go and whatnot. But you never know. Someone might surprise him in training or something like that. I don't think he'll let Tom Cleverley go, to be honest. I think a lot of people have jumped on a bandwagon, and it's almost become like he's become a big scapegoat for last season. And I think it's unfair. He had a dreadful season. A lot of us did. But I do think Louis van Gaal will look at him and think he can get something out of him. I think Cleverley was linked with Arsenal, and I think if he was to move there, I could see Arsene Wenger doing something with him. I don't think he's that bad, to be honest.
And you know what? I said a similar thing on a podcast last year and got slayed for it. I don't think he had a very good season. I don't know if he is United class, but I think he will get a chance under Van Gaal. We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think for Louis van Gaal, this is not really a case of looking at people and judging them as footballers, but do you think they're going to go to America and he's going to judge them as men? He's going to look like how they train, how they behave away from the pitch, and maybe that's how he'll make up his mind about a few people? Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's true. I heard they were given a lot of time off. I think it was last night or the night before, and all the players were in their bedrooms at 8:30 and stuff in the evening. So, I mean, they must respect him. They were given they're not taking the mick with him, and they'll get to know him a lot more as well. They'll have this impression of him from the media and from the press and stuff, but they'll get to know him as well. And like you said, the arrogance and the anger of him is only a very little part of his character. He'll show them the real Louis, and hopefully he'll get some good out of them. I think he will anyway. I really believe a lot of players we only got 60-70% out of last season. He'll get so much more out of them.
I think he's dropped a big clanger by letting Rio Ferdinand go, because he could have just watched Rio's tour diary and then he would have been able to know everything about all the players and what they're up to behind closed doors.
Okay, so Jay, you just touched on and said maybe people look into pre-season tours too much. Realistically, what is the aim of this tour? Is this a proper opportunity for these players to get in shape and impress the new manager for the new season, or is this just a big commercial venture?
Whenever there's a tour and it's in the US, you always think that the money men are behind it, don't you? And you think it's about the global brand and winning over the the Americans and getting the money in. But obviously, with the likes of Roma and Madrid, there's quality squads there, and you'd imagine they'll take it quite seriously. So I think it's a mixture of both. Yeah, obviously there's a money element, but then there are a few fringe players, I think, especially the younger lot, who can get an experience of what it's like playing for the first team, albeit in friendlies. And who knows, maybe one or two of them Louis van Gaal might take notice of. But I do think you can't put too much onto friendlies. I really do. And from past experience and past summers, the players we've been speaking about in pre-season friendlies haven't been the players that have gone on and really shone all the time anyway in the first team. So I'm a bit sceptical, to be honest with you.
Okay, Adam, after a long season and then a World Cup for most of these players, do you think the best preparation for another long season is to go flying around America?
I think even if the players were off, they would have been flying around somewhere. So I don't think it makes much of a difference. I don't think where we go makes much of a difference on pre-season tour, because I mean, if you go to Japan and China and places like this, it's all about the money. If you go to America, it's all about it's all the same, isn't it? As long as they get some good training under their belts, good time to bond with their if there's any new players coming in, and the new staff, good time to bond. We've got some very good teams that we're playing as well, so I think it will be good for the team. It will be good for the team, and soccer is getting bigger in America as well, isn't it? So
never say soccer to me.
I did do that. I did do the. Don't worry about it. You'll see later.
Okay, can't wait for that. So first game, LA Galaxy. Jay, what's your hope for that game?
I think was it Ashley Young that's just come out and said that it's going to be a bit of a tough game. I don't really agree with that. I think you can't really tell much. Give the youngsters a bit of a chance. Maybe help the Americans understand football a bit better. I was over in the World Cup watching USA Ghana with a load of American fans who started cheering when Ghana scored, which was a bit confusing. So hopefully they'll get a better grasp of football. But I don't think you're going to get too much from a game against LA Galaxy other than a bit of match practice for some of the youngsters.
I don't know, Robbie Keane running at us.
Well, yeah, he's at his boyhood club now, isn't he, at the Galaxy? That's his boyhood club.
Yeah, supported them his entire life. Adam, it's a bit hard to tell because Louis van Gaal doesn't have his full Manchester United squad with him. But what kind of formation do you think we'll see him play?
I heard that one of the younger teams, was it under 18s or something, played 4-3-3 for the first time ever the other day. So we may be going down that route. So I'd like, if we are going to play that, I'd like to see us use it from the start, rather than, wait till we get other players in and do that, so that all the other players get used to their positions and their roles in his favoured formation. But as we saw over the World Cup and throughout Louis van Gaal's career, although 4-3-3 is his main formation and the main way he likes to play, he can play other ways too. So I think we will play 4-3-3, but he'll change it here and there.
Okay, boys, I've got to ask. Score predictions?
4-0 United.
It'd be embarrassing to get this wrong.
I had 11 ready. You don't want that. I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for 3-0 United. If we lose, yeah, all these dudes on Twitter that have been taking the mick out of Liverpool and Arsenal for losing pre-season friendlies, you're gonna feel the heat, aren't you? So cut that out. But yeah, we'll win 3-4-0.
Okay, I mean, how awkward if we don't beat the LA Galaxy in the most irrelevant of fixtures. Boys, what would make this tour a success?
I think Luke Shaw and Herrera sort of having a good pre-season would be the main thing. Having good, playing well, and sort of showing that they can fit into the United side again, albeit in meaningless games. Maybe some of the youngsters shining, but I don't think there's too much you can get from it, to be honest with you. I don't think that if we win every game that everyone's going to be like, oh, this is it, we're ready to storm to the Premier League title. But you just don't want to see us go over there and not turn up, not take it too seriously, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's a meaningless friendly, it's still, you're playing for Manchester United and you expect the players to turn up.
Mm-hmm.
Adam?
What was the question? What do you expect from the tournament? I just hope that we don't get any injuries. I mean, you've seen the squad that's gone out there. We've not got many experienced players, or players that you would call first 11 players, and if the few that have gone over there pick up a long-term injury like Carrick has done, then that would be a worry for me. But as Jay says, you just want to see the new boys that have come in, the younger lads, take their opportunity. Hopefully see us start, if we are going to play a different way, 4-3-3 or whatever, hopefully see us play some good football that way and see some progress coming. I mean, under David Moyes, we never saw any progress. Like, we can take rubbish results, but we want to see good performances, or at least signs that things are changing for the better. So I'm just hoping to see us play some good football. The results don't matter, and hopefully the young lads come through and do themselves proud.
All right, Justin, Adam, thank you very much. Boys, we hope you enjoyed the tour. Let us know what you think and how important this tour is, or if in fact we're just going out there to sell some shirts. Get your opinions down below. Subscribe to Full Time Devils, like this video and share it with your mates. They'll like it too.